everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back. Let's get to the reactions today, guys. Of course, we are continuing the Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. This is Season 1, Episode 7, I believe. Anyways, this episode is entitled Breakout Part 2. Now, Part 1 was insane. We had a lot of things going on, and they really hinted at it in the last episode before the Breakout Part 1 started, everything when they were introducing Ant-Man, and for some reason, Black Panther was just thrown into the mix in the last segment. But they were slowly hinting at this thing about all the prisons that they were introducing, as they introduced the fourth one, I believe, yeah, the fourth one, which was the big house. It's really the small house, but the idea that something's going to happen, something's going to malfunction, and shit's going to go down, and what happened in Breakout Part 1, all of it started shutting down. So my question is, who, because I'm assuming it's somebody, basically screwed with all of the power, screwed with all of security stuff, with all of the different prisons throughout the world, the 4 different facilities, and they all started malfunctioning around the same time. I predict it's Black Widow, because they did reveal in the episode when they introduced her, the Hulk and her and Hawkeye, that she's working for Hydra. I suspect her because we saw her in one of the places. She was walking, she walked past his little cameo. I don't think she said anything. I think maybe she had something to do with this. Maybe, I don't know. But all hell's breaking loose, and it's going down. And I'm really excited to get into this episode to see how they wrap up Part 2 here, because it seems, based off how they're kind of setting it up, that maybe the Avengers are going to start coming together within these 2-parters. So maybe it's going to be within Part 2 that we start seeing some heroes working together. Now, Hawkeye helped Iron Man a little bit in that one spot of the Breakout Part 1, but I feel like more heroes are going to start coming together, I think, within this episode to kind of stop the Breakout from getting too chaotic, but maybe it's already too late at this point. But here we go, guys. Breakout Part 2 of this great show I'm enjoying so far. Let's go.
This is my lab, and I can control this. Can't you feel the power? What do you mean, accident? I want to see my chart. I want...
His origin. Okay.
I don't understand.
Damn. I'm ready to see all these characters work together, you know what I'm saying?
I want to treat you with the same kindness that you've shown me. I'm going to take years off of your life.
It's brutal. It's brutal. Oh, yes. I was wondering where he was, because after that one scene in Part 1, he just didn't come back. Jeez.
Fury called me Graviton. Fury, he knows I can control gravity.
Malfunction? Yep, malfunction.
Remote access initiated. Activating Mark 7 armor. Now.
Okay. Well, it's good that you have different hubs for where your armor is, so if you ever need any help.
I am declaring an Omega level emergency. Every SHIELD agent, every Hulkbuster unit, the U.S. Armed Forces. They are all now under my direct control.
What happened to him?
That's classified.
Is it?
Really? Because I think it's about to get unclassified pretty quick.
She's got a point. I mean, he's out and about now, so no, there's no way of hiding it.
This and now!
That kind of way. Oh, hello. Just walks in there.
You could help.
What?
What do you want?
You could make a difference. You could save Thor, just like you saved Samson.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, Bruce is not outside of, like, he's not talking to Bruce, like, he's talking to himself, but, like, he's not. Interesting.
I stay the Hulk, not Banner.
But can Hulk fight Graviton?
Just stand here and watch this.
Would that work?
We have to do something. If Thor can't stop him, he'll come into the city.
Don't you think I know that, Wasp?
Increase it 1,000-fold. Like this!
Gonna make him drown?
Franklin Hall, you You give theoretical physicists a bad name.
Ozil?
She can be a nuisance. He's like, what the fuck? He's like, I could take on the God of Thunder, but I can't take on a little wasp.
Janet.
Iron Man. In the same vicinity as Wasp, Ant-Man, Nick Fury, and Thor. Thor's drowning right now, but you get my point. Damn.
Oh no. Thor!
What?
Thor!
What?
You know, with the hammer? He's on the bottom of the ocean.
What are Graviton's upper limits?
Studied him for years, and as far as we could tell, he doesn't have any. What do you think you're gonna do, Pip? Talk him down?
He's got to have some sort of limitations.
It's too late.
Just saying. That's pretty good. Oh!
Hank, you went big.
Janet, get out of here. I'll handle Graviton. Do whatever you want with me, but no one else has to get hurt.
No. You wanted me to create a super soldier, but I've become so much more.
Yeah.
I'm beyond human now.
I'm going to crush
Beyond human, I like that.
show the
Oh!
fury.
What?
That could have gone better.
That's a good... That was an interesting twist a little bit. Okay, yeah, this guy's way overpowered. Oh, God! This guy's way overpowered! Like, are you fucking kidding me? Still nothing. He's trying, though. Ooh! Okay. The force of it is going to be just tidal waves and all this shit. So Thor couldn't hold it up by his strength, yet Graviton lifted it like it was basically nothing.
Gravitational effect has ceased.
Okay. About to say.
I've beaten you before. I can do it again.
Working together. That's what's going to make them succeed, is working together.
No. The power I wield, you are nothing compared to me.
It's nice seeing them all together, though. Woo!
You sure about that?
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh! Holy fuck.
I did not realize there were ogres on Midgard.
He's so fucking quick. He's so fucking strong. He's angry too.
Take him down.
Yeah. Ooh. Of course, he's gonna be able to get up. Of course. Okay. He's still getting up.
I control gravity itself.
Still fighting it. God. I love this Hulk. This version of Hulk is amazing. Okay. Distract him. Distract him. Oh, poor ants. God.
You're helping me.
Yeah, now hit him.
Teamwork. Teamwork! Jesus. Who would I didn't think the Hulk would be the person that would be able to kind of turn the tides on this fight. Nice, okay. Oh my God.
Step away from the Hulk. He's a fugitive from the cube.
You want the Hulk, you go through me. The Hulk saved us all. He's a hero.
One-on-one, we can each take down a villain or two, but 74, none of us can do it alone.
Yeah.
Together, we have a chance. What we did here, it can change things. The world needs us, but not as S.H.I.E.L.D. needs. As a team, on our own.
So there you have it, guys. Breakout Part 2. This was an insane episode, and I was right. Essentially, the Avengers are now together. Well, some of the actual members, because of course we know other characters that are out there that are going to be joining at some point. But we have 5 together now, working together. So I was, for some reason, thinking the character that they introduced in the episode where they introduced Ant-Man and everything, episode 5, like, that's Graviton, and they announced that they officially revealed it, just in case you weren't aware, in Breakout Part 1 at the end. For some reason, before they said his name, I'm like, is it Hyperion? Like, I think that's the right pronunciation, but I remember that is a character too, I think, in Marvel, but it's Graviton. So what I like is, what I was mentioning in the reaction, is that they actually, after revealing in Part 1 at the end, it's Graviton, and, you know, he has a thing for Nick Fury. He's coming after him, and that's the reason why he's got him there, and he's basically going to kill him. That's what he wants to do. We see the flashback of how he became Graviton, and it was a 10 years ago flashback. And within this, he was doing some insane destruction. Thor kept hitting at him with his hammer. He has this force field, essentially, deflecting all the hits like it's nothing. And then the tide turned when they started working together, when the heroes started to all come to New York to fight Graviton, to work together. And it really turned even more of a tide against him when the Hulk, because the Hulk showed up. I think the whole fight changed drastically at that point again, because Hulk came in and literally beat the living shit out of him. Now, Graviton was still getting hits in, and it was still sending them fly away, but Hulk kept resisting and getting back up after getting knocked down. He kept on fighting, and I love how fast-paced the Hulk is when he was fighting Graviton in this. It was so freaking insane. But I like seeing all of them work together. I like the part where Hulk is diving down, and all those crates are coming up at him, and Wasp is destroying them and helping him get through, and they're working together to get him down, because he's like, "You're helping me?" She's like, "Yeah, now hit him." And he's like, "Yes." And then they all stood by him after they defeated Graviton, when all the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents and all these people are like, "Stand down, the Hulk's a fugitive, hurry." They stood up for him, because he came in and he wasn't destroying shit. He wasn't attacking the heroes. He wasn't attacking innocent people. He was fighting Graviton and helped win the fight. And they found a way to call the Avengers pretty quick. Now, for a second, as I'm watching this, I'm like, is Black Panther going to show up? I don't think so, but he's out there somewhere. But obviously, Hawkeye could have showed up too, but he didn't. And Black Widow, of course, nowhere to be seen. And then they brought up the question, because, of course, with Nick Fury's like, "Hey, do you want to be S.H.I.E.L.D. agents?" And they're like, no. But I like how Tony was like, Nick Fury's right. And like, "You want to work at him as a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent?" No. But we should work together. And how us together, because Tony, you know, he could have taken that either way. He could have seen it as, I don't want to work for a team, but he saw how good it was. He saw how Graviton would have leveled, he would have destroyed everything in New York and continued onward. But then working together turned the tides and defeated him. Didn't kill him, but defeated him. And so Tony took it. I like how they made him go, "You know what? I agree with Nick Fury in terms of we should work together, but I don't agree with Nick Fury in terms of being S.H.I.E.L.D. agents." So that was smart. And then, of course, the Avengers line and everything like that. But then they brought up what I've been bringing up. Who caused this? Because that one guy walked up and was like, "Oh, well, I checked the security footage. Graviton was not responsible for everything malfunctioning." Because that is a good theory. Graviton, if he somehow gets himself out of his prison, he could potentially disable all of the security and everything, and the power and everything that goes through the different prisons, and disable them and basically malfunction them to the point where people can break out. It wasn't him. I think it's Black Widow. Sticking with it. They could go the direction of it's Hydra. Hydra's infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D. maybe. I don't know, but I feel like it's going to be a Black Widow situation. I'm thinking it's somebody we've already been introduced to that has done this. I do like, and I think it was interesting, how they had the Hulk take that guy who was trying to help him with a cure to the diner, and he was talking to himself. He was talking to Bruce Banner. But they, even though they didn't reveal it like within the first couple seconds, they waited a little bit, and then they showed the waitress at the diner look over and realize Hulk is talking to nobody because there was nobody in the booth, but yet he was seeing Bruce. He's seeing his other self. I think it was interesting. Now, if they're going to go that direction where we see Hulk talking to Bruce Banner, but of course Bruce Banner's not there, that's an interesting thing to have. It's an interesting dynamic to visually show them talking to each other. The two sides of Bruce Banner talking to each other. Where Hulk is talking to Bruce Banner as the human. And then the human, subconsciously, the brain side is responding to the Hulk side, essentially. You get my point? I think it's an interesting visual, because they could have easily had it to where you hear Bruce's thoughts in Hulk's head. But now, if that's the direction they're going with, how they're going to represent it, if he talks to himself like that again, he sees himself. He sees the other version. Which I think is pretty interesting. Trying to think. The action was just really fast-paced. And I think that it really showcases how well this team's going to work together. And then with the possibility of other characters who we've seen throughout the intros and stuff. And the images that I've seen online, like all the lineup or whatever, that it's going to be interesting because they really figured out how to work together pretty quickly. And I like how Graviton was able to throw around Thor like nothing, but then Wasp, as she shrunk down, was able to zap him and shit, and he's like getting really frustrated and annoyed. And how every character had a moment to shine and found a way to kind of, you know, find a way to actually hurt Graviton, or at least annoy him and get him distracted in order for someone else to hit. Where had an ant bite Graviton in the back of the neck, it distracted him, and then he gets hit. But I gotta mention again, Hulk is so freaking fast when he's fighting. It's so good. It just, and like there was one shot where Graviton has the shield up and Hulk is jumping and he hits the shield. He jumps up and slams again, and then they go down past the ground. I'm like, Hulk was not giving up, and I freaking love that. That was awesome. So overall, I really enjoyed Breakout Part 1 and Part 2. I think they both work well together in terms of Part 1 having a setup and showcasing that all these villains, all these different villains from the different prisons are breaking out. And then with the reveal, of course, Graviton being this big bad who literally lifted that island, that part of New York, like nothing. Wow. Now, we've seen something like that in Age of Ultron, with Ultron, but using a different way of lifting. Was it Slovakia? I forget exactly where he lifted, but he lifted that island, or that city or whatever, or that, you get my point. He lifted it in Age of Ultron, and the whole point was to have it come slam down and destroy, and it would destroy the Earth, essentially, due to the impact. But I think this was just really interesting, because Thor tried to stop it himself, and he couldn't. But Graviton lifted it like it was nothing, so I really enjoyed that. But overall, Part 1, Part 2, good stuff. Can't wait to see what the next episode is after this, because now the Avengers in some sort of capacity are working together, it seems. So I'm excited to see where we go from here. So there you have it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to Part 2. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.